from the annual Imaging USA conference sponsored by the Professional Photographers America, and one of my images won bronze. It wasn't the top prize, but I was still very happy. Because for me, someone who picked up a camera as a second career in retirement, this designation represents something much more important than a ranking. It was a form of validation. And in this video, I want to take you with me to the conference and the photo competition to show you that this was exactly what I needed to keep myself going forward. You see, when I retired, I made a choice. I didn't want my photography to just be a hobby to pass the time. I really wanted to start thinking about it as a second career. And I worked hard to improve, but you get to a certain stage when you need feedback from more than just family and friends, because it just might not be objective enough. When I was young, my mom put a lot of my artwork on the fridge, and quite frankly, it just wasn't very good. But she told me it was awesome. So while I appreciate the support from family and friends, I needed an objective standard. I needed to know if my work could stand on its own without my name attached to it and be judged by professionals who have been doing this for decades. And that's why I decided to enter my images into PPA's annual competition. I wasn't looking necessarily for a pat on the back. I was looking for a benchmark. Walking into the conference center reminded me of my days back in the IT world. Giant banners hanging from the ceiling and rows of booths in the exhibit area. And instead of IT professionals, thousands of photographers who knew exactly what they were doing there. And there were lots of talk about merit image reviews and certifications. And I was sitting there thinking, man, do I really belong in this crowd? I remember walking through the print exhibition for the first time. All the finalists in every category had their images displayed on a large TV screen in the main conference hallway. And I'll always remember the feeling I had when I saw my image come up on the screen. I remember thinking, wow, this is pretty cool. I was also thinking, man, what am I doing here? Now, like everyone else in the competition, my image had been selected as a finalist a couple of months before. So with that, there was a bit of validation. And I felt good about that. So the question for me at this conference, could I advance further in the competition? So let's talk about the actual competition. The first wave of judging was early in the conference. In every category, there were 32 finalists. And by the end of the day, there would be a final 4 in each of the categories. I was really looking forward to it. When I got to the ballroom, it looked impressive. The judges were on the stage, and then the competition began. My category would be the 9th to be judged, and it seemed, quite frankly, that it was taking forever to get there. But then, finally, the moment came.
One of my favorite categories, natural portrait. Let's bring them in. And here we go. Is anyone?
Wow, that didn't take long. And just like that, my day in the competition was over. But I was okay. Well, just leaving the exhibit hall where the competition was held, a little disappointed that I didn't get to move on, but otherwise still very pleased that I got into the competition at all. And it certainly gives me a lot of encouragement moving forward that I'm headed in the right direction, and I look forward to next year. We'll see if we can go a little bit further. And by the way, if you are enjoying following along on this second career journey, or if you're rooting for old dogs learning new tricks, I'd really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. It helps me share this message with more people who are looking for their second act. So that left me with bronze, and don't get me wrong, bronze is great. But in the future, I would like to advance further. And for me, that's exciting because now I have a roadmap. I know exactly where the gap is between me and the true masters. So I'll continue to push forward. There's a lot to work on. I'll get better at storytelling. I'll improve my composition. I'll work on my editing. There's a lot to do and a lot to look forward to. Retirement is often considered a time to slow down, but not now. I think I'll just continue to lean into this. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know my description says I share the highs and lows and the frustrations and joys of this profession. Well, this was one of the joys, but as I said, there's still a lot of work to do. I suspect many of you watching are on your own creative journeys. Maybe you're picking up a camera for the first time, or maybe you're starting a totally new chapter in your second act of life. I'd love to hear from you. If you're pursuing a new passion in retirement, or if you're working towards your own bronze moment, drop a comment below. I read them all, and I'd love to know what you've got going on. And if you want to stick around to see if I can actually turn this bronze into something more, consider subscribing. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's also going to be a fun ride. Thanks for being part of this journey with me, and I'll see you on the next one.